No, watch your arm, fight different. Hey, it's okay.
Believe it or not, the person in that video was actually me. That was right after my very first competition match, and I was really mad, I was upset, I was very disappointed. But in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about how you can deal with loss in your own life, whether it's from a competitive standpoint or in real life. So let's just jump right into it. Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Noah, back again with another YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I help people awaken to their true abilities through wellness and spirituality, aka Noah's Ark. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over how to deal with loss in your life. And I wanted to make this video today because in my own personal life, I have experienced a loss. I experienced my first ever loss in a competitive setting. If you guys don't know, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or BJJ. And, it's a very hard sport, but it's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I enjoy doing. And I recently had my very first competition, as you guys saw from that first clip, But after that match, I was very upset. I was very heated. I was very just disappointed in myself. And it wasn't the outcome that I expected, right? But it was something that I probably needed, because at the time I was really upset. But looking back on that loss, it actually taught me a lot of things, and that is why I wanted to make this video, because I want to talk to you guys about how you can deal with loss in your own life. That loss for me, it meant a lot. I didn't want to let my coaches down. I didn't want to let myself down, most importantly. But, I also didn't want to let my family down, right? They were there watching me. And, so yeah, that happened, but at the end of the day, I want to share with you guys today about what I learned from that experience and why it was such a privilege for me to go out and compete and perform. As much as I was disappointed looking back, a couple hours passed in the day, and I am able to look back and realize that, I had fun. It was a very fun experience. It was a really cool experience just being there, being able to see all the matches, right? And although it wasn't the outcome that I expected, it was definitely a learning lesson for me. There's a lot of different things that I could have done better in that match, and there were a couple things that I did good in that match, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this video is gonna be about being able to change your perspective a little bit, because a lot of us like to look at loss as negative, and as something that's bad, right? And that's why a lot of people don't like to lose. Me personally, I hate losing. I'm a very competitive person, and so when I lose, sometimes I tend to get upset, and then my emotions get the better of me. But something that we can learn from losses is that losses are an opportunity for us. We can change our perspective from looking at a loss as a negative to looking at a loss as an opportunity to learn. I forgot who said this, but there was someone who said that if you take an L, ultimately you're not taking a loss, you're taking a lesson, right? And that is something that I had to learn, you know what I mean? There was so much differently that I could have done in my fight that I had. But at the end of the day, it was such a fun experience, and you can apply this to your personal life as well. Oftentimes we go through loss in our life, and sometimes, most of the time it's things that we can't control. Whenever I was 6 years old, my father passed away, and it was one of the most traumatic experiences that I've ever had to go through in my life, but it taught me to hold on to the family members that I have in my life, and appreciate every moment. It made me realize that I'm not in control of everything in my life, and it kind of makes you change your perspective on your experiences, right? And so with that being said, we can take our losses in our own life and apply them into the real world, you know, and apply them as an opportunity for us to grow. You know, although that match that I had was very disappointing for me, it ultimately taught me that there's a lot that I can learn. You know, there's a lot that I need to learn as well. Just that little change, you know, it gets me excited for future matches, and it gets me excited to be able to compete again, because it was a very fun experience, right? But oftentimes a lot of people like to look at losses as a bad thing, you know, but where we actually gain from losses is being able to change from our perspective from looking at it as a negative to looking at it as an opportunity for us to grow, right? Once we look at it in that light, then it makes it to where we can look at the experience that we had as, that we perceived as a loss, to an opportunity for us to be grateful, you know, for that experience. You know, everybody loses, you know what I mean? There's not one person in this world that doesn't ever lose, right? Everybody loses. It doesn't matter what your record is, right? It doesn't matter how good you are. Everybody's taking losses. You know what I mean? If someone, you know, in professional sports, right? A lot of the times people in professional combat sports, a lot of people like to look at the professional records of certain people, right? But even if you're undefeated, you know, you're still losing in the gym, right? You're still getting taught, you know, lessons, right? Everybody's always learning, and sometimes you need these losses in your life in order for you to mold into the person who you set out to be in this life, you know, the person who's actually going to change the world and who's going to live out their dream life. And so that is what I learned from losses, and that is how to deal with loss in your life. You know, understand that it is only an experience, right? We're gonna have ups and downs in our life. We're gonna have times where we win, right? These wins a lot of the times come from the losses that we once had, right? It makes us a better person. You know, if we always took wins, then there would be no room for lessons, you know, there'd be no room for improvement, right? And so anytime you're starting something, anytime you are going into something new, right? Don't expect that you're gonna have it all figured out, because that's not gonna, you know, you're gonna be humbled real quick. You see, going into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I actually thought I was gonna do relatively well because I watch a lot of UFC fights, you know, and I'm friends with someone who has a relative who's very good, very, very good at Jiu-Jitsu, right? And initially off of that, I thought I was gonna do well, but whenever I got in there, you know, I realized that there's so much to learn, you know, and that's what made it fun for me. And that's how you can change these losses, you know, and change your perspective. And hopefully this perspective can allow you to become grateful for the lessons and for the losses that you have in your life, you know, and understand that sometimes we need them, you know, we need losses every once in a while. We need lessons in order for us to grow and to get to that place where we want to be, right? And so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I really hope you guys learned something. I really hope you guys gained some valuable information and ultimately learned how to deal with loss, you know, and I wanted to share that from my personal experience. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions for future videos that you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know down in the comment section, or you can hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram should be at NoahIsArc right here. But with all that being said, my friends, have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night wherever you're at. And peace, love, and happiness. Mwah.